How's it going? Oh, Initiate. I didn't realize this place was yours. Apologies for the intrusion. No. Well, you don't know me, but I've heard about you. Nothing but good things, don't worry. Initiate Lawson, at your service. I'm with the Brotherhood at Fort Atlas. I'm on assignment to set up a forward supply and maintenance operation. I was on the lookout for a good location and saw what you've built here. You've got a great location and setup, perfect for the assignment. I was hoping we could join forces, fellow Brotherhood and all. Nothing. Well, use of your facilities here, actually. Permission to stay and run the operation from your camp. I won't get in the way, I promise. Basically, they want me to stockpile stuff and do any maintenance required for Brotherhood soldiers that might pass through. Among other things, yeah. I've been working with Scribe Valdez a lot, doing maintenance in the armory, that kind of thing. If it's broke, I can fix it. And if I can't fix it, I've probably got something squirreled away that'll help anyway. I've also managed to put together a decent supply of weapons, ammo, armor, even some schematics if you're into doing it yourself. That's kind of why I'm here. You've got the storage space already. I can also help out with any power armor you've got. Scribe Valdez says I've got a real knack with it. Of course. As a member of the Brotherhood, you're exactly who I'm supposed to be helping out here. Fantastic! Thank you! I'll try to stay out of your way. Don't worry. If you need anything, just ask. Hello. Me? Really? Well, okay. What did you want to know? Virginia, originally. Not too far from here, but far enough it wasn't easy getting here. Never saw too much of it, actually. The settlement I grew up in was pretty sheltered. I never really went anywhere until after my parents died. Sure thing. Anything in particular? Pretty normal, I guess. I was born a couple of years after the bombs. Mom and Dad were already living in a little settlement with other survivors by then. Dad farmed, Mom was a mechanic. We had it better than a lot of folks in the wasteland. And they loved each other so much. They liked making little gifts for each other and for me. Right up until the end. I guess maybe they were a little smothering. They didn't plan on having a kid, but once I showed up, they were thrilled. Very protective, especially Mom. They always worried about me, tried to keep me out of any kind of danger. Heck, I wasn't even allowed to talk to the traders who passed through town sometimes. It's all right. I don't mind. It's been a few years since. It was just old age and health catching up, really. I guess it hits harder now than before the war. They were pretty up there when they had me. Mom was old enough she thought kids were a closed door. Surprise! I don't remember either of them without some gray in their hair. Not even when I was a kid. Mom went first, caught a bad cold, and never really got better. Dad and I were both with her at the bedside when she passed. When she was gone, I think the spirit just went out of Dad. She was the love of his life. He went a year later, in his sleep. Sorry, I'm all right. I still miss them. Not that I know about, but it's not impossible. I've got some more distant relatives out there somewhere. I had a brother. He died before I was born, fighting in the war. He'd have been 44 now. Mom and Dad didn't talk about it much. Too painful. Sure was. Mom was always happiest with a wrench in her hand and grease stains on her clothes. Part of her keeping me out of trouble was putting me to work. Fixing generators, farm equipment, you know. Most of our bonding time was over disassembled engines. I think she liked passing on the skill. Took pride in it. Quiet, mostly. Wasn't very big, just a patch big enough to grow some food and trade with the other folks in town for what we didn't have. I stuck to the mechanical stuff with Mom. Dad actually forbade me to help with the crops. He said, "Del, I love you, but whatever the opposite of a green thumb is, you've got it." Okay, sure. Unfortunately, yeah. My first name's Elmer. Named after my mom's grandfather, apparently. Only fight my parents ever had, according to Dad. Mom won, of course. Dad called me Del, and it stuck. Thank God. Please, man, do not call me Elmer. Del's good. Thank you. Even just saying Elmer feels weird. Unfortunately, my first only Dad called me Del. Please. Come on, man. That's not funny. Hey there. Me? Well, after my parents passed, I didn't have a lot of reason to stick around anymore. I'd been in one town my whole life, so I wanted to see what else was out there. Joined up with some settlers moving into West Virginia. Seemed like as good a way to do it as any. Figured I'd help fix stuff, just like back home. Well, we got here. Lost people to scorched, some to raiders, and we needed farmers more than mechanics. I was as bad at that as Dad always said. Almost starved that first winter. Then the Brotherhood showed up recruiting. They needed people with technical skills, and I was just happy not to have to grow my own dinner. Not sure what I can tell you that you don't already know. Anything specific? I might have already mentioned I was not cut out for farming. Can't keep a crop alive to, well, save my life. Never gonna be a raider, and I don't like living alone. Could have stayed at Foundation, maybe, but when the Brotherhood came recruiting, I don't know. I guess I've felt a little lost since my parents died. Joining the Brotherhood, things were simpler. Direction. Orders. The uniform's pretty good too, right? Well, right now it's to organize this supply and maintenance outpost, like we discussed. Thanks again for permitting it, by the way. You mean more generally, though, right? Well, I do whatever the officers say, of course, being an initiate and all. We're all training to become knights one day. There were only 3 Brotherhood who came here from California, so they need to fill out the ranks. It's funny, though. Most of the time, they've got me working for Scribe Valdez. I suppose she needs a lot of help, being the only scribe. I'm sure they'll put me through the more intensive combat training soon enough, though. Can't be a knight without that. Paladin, Romani, and Knight Shin, you mean? Come on, you're an initiate. You could get in trouble being so casual. Anyway, I guess you're asking about the Paladin cutting off communication with the rest of the Brotherhood back in California. Is it weird if I'm not bothered by it? I know a lot of people are upset. Knight Shin sure is. But I only know the Brotherhood here. Paladin Romani, she's... Well, you've met her. It's like she always has a plan and is always looking out for us. She says the Brotherhood needs to be different, to protect people. I trust her. No problem. Some. Not as much as I'd like. I hear a lot of stories, and I met some folks out on patrol with the Brotherhood. Anything in particular you wanted to know? Oh, sure. Came into West Virginia with a group of them. The ones that are left ended up at Foundation. I've met a few folks there. Good people. Tad and Gloria, the couple who worked the stockroom, were really nice. Not unless you count dodging bullets they sent my way. The really crazy ones, Blood Eagles, they're the bunch that hit the settlers I moved here with. I hear the raiders up at Crater aren't as crazy, but I'm not looking to test that. Oh, the folks at the refuge. I stopped in there for a bit before I signed up with the Brotherhood. Everyone's really kind there. I guess you have to be to do what they're doing. I hear Initiate Ellison is stationed there now. I wonder how he's doing. Not sure what I can tell you that you don't already know. Anything specific? No problem. So, anything in... Not too much, besides the raiders when I first moved here. But there's been a few scrapes since then, on patrol with the Brotherhood. Super mutants. Stumbled across some when Night Shin took me on patrol. Feral ghouls are one thing, but super mutants talk. Hard to treat them as just monsters when you hear them talking. The whole slaughtering and eating people thing, though, makes it pretty easy to look past that, I guess. Night Shin didn't even bat an eye. Just keep me loaded, he said. Cool as a cucumber. He ran through 4 belts of ammo before it was over. Super mutants. Stumbled across some when Night Shin took me on patrol. Feral ghouls are one thing, but super mutants talk. The whole slaughtering... Night Shin... Anything weird? Well... This might sound crazy, but... aliens. Actual, real-life spacemen. It was crazy. A flying saucer and everything, right over Charleston. I couldn't believe it. There were these big machines pulsing with energy, and big-headed, skinny green guys just popping in out of thin air everywhere. I was under orders to guard our camp, so I didn't actually get that close. I saw everything, though. Let's see. This might sound crazy, but it was crazy. There were these big... I was under... Whatever you need. Absolutely. What do you need? Everything a Brotherhood soldier might need on patrol in the wasteland. Let me show you. Everything all right?